One of the biggest lessons I ever learned in my life is that boredom leads to pleasure and pleasure leads to poverty. The way that you counteract this boredom is by being in your purpose. If you're in your purpose, you're not going to get bored. If you're not bored, you will not be led down to your pleasures. But when you are bored, you are led to your desires. You're led to pleasures, and pleasure leads to poverty. Guys, when you are bored and you start to go scroll on social media or Netflix, or you start binging, you go to that vice, that stronghold, that addiction, whatever it is, whether it's something that's draining you mentally and emotionally when you're scrolling or watching something, it's draining your energy, or maybe it's draining your bank account and you get led to pleasure and you go buy drugs, alcohol, food, you reach for that vice. Whatever it is, guys, it's draining you. So guess what? That boredom leads to pleasure. The pleasure leads to poverty in all aspects. You're going to be spiritually bankrupt, emotionally bankrupt. You're not going to have no confidence, no self-esteem, all these things, right? So guys, we got to be in our purpose. And there's this guy, he once said that white space on your calendar is the devil. And this was so interesting to me because he said, if you want to meet the devil, just leave some white space on your calendar. Just don't have a schedule, right? Because what that will lead to is boredom. And that's going to lead to doubt, delusion, delay, discouragement, the 4 Ds. Doubt, delusion, delay, discouragement. So guess what? If you want to counteract that, you got to be in your purpose. You got to pray God's will be done, his kingdom come, right? So I'm here to tell you today, brother, always focus on God's will. And here's another really important thing that I learned. When you are bored, it leads to the pleasure, right? But guess what? Boredom leads to bondage as well. So when you're bored, that means you're one step away from bondage. It's crazy because we never want to be bored again after we hear this, right? Because to know that that boredom's gonna lead to the pleasure, and then that's all it takes. You're gonna be tempted, and then it's gonna lead to bondage. You're gonna reach for that food, you're gonna reach for that sin, you're gonna reach for that vice. We have to understand this. And we have to take assessment of our lives. When are we bored? For me and for 90% of the people, it's probably going to be at nighttime, after work, after you're drained, after you got a long day and you just want to chill out, you just want to relax, you just want to scroll, all these things, right? We don't have a lot to do in those evening hours, but they are so important. It's the most crucial time because the devil's going to walk around like a roaring lion trying to devour who he can. So we must be sober, we must be vigilant, we must be on guard to make sure that we are doing God's will, not being bored, not seeking pleasures. So what can you do to seek God's will right now?